Guys, and welcome back to another episode of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast on a mission to inspire a world where food makes us better. And on today's podcast, you're going to learn how to get stronger, smarter, probably leaner, and also how to master your habits better. So a lot of things. Let's start with habits. Yesterday we talked about this technique, habit sandwich, when if we want to start practicing a consistently new habit, it's best to link it to something we already do. Even better to put it in between certain habits that we already do, creating that metaphorical habit sandwich. So for example, you might wake up, brush your teeth, and then drink water, and then exercise if you already do that. Or maybe just wake up, brush your teeth, drink your water, and take a shower. So that might be a sandwich for drinking water. So you already, every morning, you're gonna wake up every morning, no matter what, you're gonna probably brush your teeth, at least I hope. You're probably gonna take a shower. I guess this might be different for every person, but that's what people usually do. We try to keep ourselves clean. Brush your teeth, take a shower, and in between, squeeze in that new habit of yours. If you are trying to drink more water, that's going to be more water, or maybe 5-minute workout if you are working on getting regular exercise. So if you want to learn more about this technique and how it can help you to develop different habits, check back our yesterday's episode. Today, guys, well, no matter how good our techniques of building new habits are, we're not going to be successful a lot if that habit that we are trying to build isn't meaningful to us. And what I mean by being meaningful for a habit. So, for example, drinking water. Why do I drink water? Why did I work on this consistent habit of drinking water, making sure that I am getting enough water every single day? Because when we don't get enough water, our brain doesn't function well. Our whole body doesn't function well. In fact, all of our cells require water for almost every single process. So we are dumber, slower, we are crankier, our emotions, mood, energy levels, the process of detoxification or taking the trash out of our system is affected a lot. So we don't look that well, we don't feel that well, we don't perform mentally or physically that well. So what is important for all of that? We might experience fatigue or headaches. When we exercise, we might feel like we don't have enough energy. Again, our mood, our energy levels, everything is affected by our hydration status or how well we deliver our water to our cells, every single cell in our body, and plus our skin, tendons, joints, all of those need water to be lubricated. So for your skin to be shiny and beautiful, you need water. So for your hair, your nails to be smooth, you need water. So for all these things, we do need water. And I understand this. And when I'm dehydrated for some reason, like for example, when I'm traveling and for some reason I forgot to drink enough water, adequate amount, so I start feeling cranky and I start actually developing like something like a headache. I haven't had headaches in a while, but I'm definitely starting to feel worse. And then I might go to the bathroom, look at the color of my pee, and it might be too yellow, and that means that I might be dehydrated. And so I make sure to drink water to feel better. And also, of course, it helps us to stay regular. Now, guys, the point of all of this, I really understand how water or lack of water makes me feel. I do not want to feel this way. I want to be my best. I want my brain to think better, have great ideas, have great mood, great energy levels. I want my skin to be beautiful, my hair, my nails. I want to ace my workouts and feel really amazing before, after, during my workouts, and just feel great and fresh every single day with a lot of energy. And water is needed for all of this to happen. And that's why I'm so committed to drinking that water, because I understand how it contributes to my health. So that's what I mean by making a habit meaningful to you. So you actually personally connect to the result of you doing that habit. Or for example, running. Why I don't run? Because running is meaningless to me. Like, to me personally, it is meaningless. I do move enough. I walk a lot, probably a couple of hours every day. I do train my cardiovascular system by doing high intensity interval workouts, and sometimes just doing things like dancing or just higher intensity workouts, not necessarily interval, but sweating and puffing and huffing and getting out of breath. I do those workouts, but I don't need to run for that. I don't like running. There is no need for a person to run. There is no physiological need for us to actually run every day for, 30 minutes or more. There is like no need, and I don't like it. So why would I do that? Like, it has no meaning to me. Now, somebody might love running, and that's why it might be meaningful to them, or that's the form of exercise they love for one reason or the other. And it's totally fine. But for me personally, it's meaningless. That's why no matter how many techniques you give me to build my running habit, I'm not going to do that because I don't want to, because there is no need. It has no meaning to me. If somebody at some point explains to me like why I should start running, why it might be such an amazing thing, maybe I reconsider, but for now it is meaningless to me. And that's why, again, no amount of tips, techniques and tricks, they're not gonna turn me into a runner, because I don't see a point in running at this point in my life. And if, for example, some habit that you're trying to build, maybe become a runner, also does not make sense to you and you hate it, maybe that's why you can't stick with it. There is nothing wrong with you. It just, there is no meaning for you in running, and plus you hate it, so you find every excuse on earth not to run. Exercise, movement, activity, that is necessary for our health. For one of the reasons is our lymphatic system that takes the trash out of our system. It doesn't have a pump like our circulatory system, like our heart, moves blood through our veins and arteries. Lymphatic system, that is a different kind of circulatory system, in charge of taking the trash out of our system. It does not have that pump, so it cannot really move too much. It can only move efficiently when we move. And that's why it's so important. One of the reasons why it's so important to move. But movement, exercise, physiologically and psychologically, it has so many effects on us that denying the benefit of exercise for our mental health, physical health, it's impossible. Like, if you need some motivation to start regular exercise, let me know and we'll chat about it, and then you'll see the meaning of exercise. But any specific form of exercise, right, like running, not too much meaning in that. Like, you can choose a lot of different forms of exercise that you actually enjoy. And once you enjoy something or understand the importance of a habit, and now it's meaningful to you on a personal level, you're going to need much, much less tools and tricks and techniques to build that habit. When you are internally motivated to build that habit, you're going to do so much better. And that's why, guys, it's important to build any habit first to understand your why. Like, why is it meaningful to you? And if it's not yet, maybe you need to talk to someone who find it meaningful. So one of the best ways to, figure it out, talk to a person who has their own meaning attached to that habit that you build, and maybe ask about them. Like, why is it meaningful? Why is it important to them? Why do they enjoy it? And you listen to their reasons, and they might be completely not something that is meaningful to you. And so you might decide to skip the habit at the end, or you actually might find meaningful for you reasons to stick with this habit. So guys, before attempting to build any habit in your life, understand why you're trying to do so. Like, what is the reason? What is the motivation, your internal reasons, your internal motivations for you to build that habit? And only then start figuring out how to actually build that habit. And you'll be surprised when you find your internal motivations and drives and whys, you'll be surprised how much easier it gets to build any habit when you understand why it's important to you. So that's it for about building habits. And the second thing I'd like to chat with you today is iron. Yesterday in one of my WhatsApp groups where I share certain tips, nutrition, healthy lifestyle every day, and then also people share their experience, their tips with each other, or ask any questions. Anyhow, in one of the groups yesterday, somebody started to talk about iron and how they feel tired and fatigued, and somebody recommended them to look at their iron status. And yeah, iron, guys, it's that mineral that contributes to our energy levels a lot. We can feel fatigued mentally and physically when we don't get enough iron. Plus, we can experience shortness of breath, and we can be pale, and our heart can start beating faster or slower if we don't get our iron. Iron is needed to create red blood cells that carry oxygen to all of our cells and all of our tissues. And so oxygen is important for every cell to breathe. Not only that, but oxygen is involved in energy production cycle. So if we don't deliver oxygen to our cells, we're not going to create energy, and our perspiration or breathing on a cellular level going to be compromised. And again, we're not going to get the oxygen to create energy, to have energy mentally or physically. Our nerve cells, our muscle cells, all of our cells need energy to live. And so we can experience fatigue on mental, emotional, cognitive, physical, on so many levels. And your workouts might suffer a lot. Like sometimes people fail to make that connection that if you don't get enough oxygen, you're not going to deliver it to your cells. You're not going to make energy in those cells. And if you're not going to make energy in your cells, muscle cells including, then you're not going to be able to have energy for your workouts or your ideas or your work. You're just going to feel sleepy, fatigued, tired, and cranky all the time. That's why iron is so important, right? And foods that are rich in iron are not on the menu of a lot of people. So let's look at some of the iron-rich foods real fast, and you can see if you are eating those foods. So the richest source of iron is duck liver. So if you are lucky to find duck liver pate, just about 60 grams of it, of this deliciousness, gonna deliver 100% of the most absorbable iron. So 60 grams of duck liver pate, and it is delicious, guys. Go to some French place and find all kinds of duck liver pates you can only imagine, but please do check ingredient list. Other than that, French gourmet places or just any French shop actually would have it. So duck liver. The next one we have chicken liver, with about 160, actually a little bit more, 180 grams of chicken liver will deliver all the iron you need. In general, livers of different animals are rich sources of iron compared to other foods. But 60 grams of duck liver, that's the champion. About 170-180 grams of chicken liver, also 100% of a very absorbable iron. Bioavailable, that is important. Iron in plant foods, guys, is not that bioavailable, or it's a different kind of iron that our body cannot use that effectively. It's what they call non-heme iron. So you want to eat your iron from animal foods. Also, protein in animal foods increases the absorption and availability of iron in our foods. The same goes for vitamin C in vitamin C rich foods like, for example, lemons, limes, oranges, kiwis, but also vitamin C in some vegetables. Although plant fibers can interfere with absorption of iron, especially in vegetables, and especially guys, those foods, they will not allow your body to absorb a lot of iron. And I'm talking about grains, seeds, and legumes. So for example, lentils might have quite a lot of iron, but a lot of this iron is not absorbable. And plus, anti-nutrients will prevent the absorption of that iron. That's why plant foods are never great sources of iron. So anyhow, guys, so duck liver, chicken liver, 6 oysters will deliver about 40% of our iron. So you need to eat about 15 oysters, the meat of 15 oysters, to get all of your iron. Another great source that I absolutely love of iron, it's mussels. So just about 150 grams of mussels will deliver also all the iron. I love mussels. And 150 grams of mussels will deliver all the iron you need too. Now, some people think that beef is a great source of iron. It's not that great, actually. So 170 grams of beef, red meat itself, because guys also understand that fat in beef, if it's fattier cut, does not deliver that much iron, because iron is always in the red tissue or in the muscle tissue. So the leaner beef is, the more iron it's going to deliver. So 170 grams of average lean cuts of beef will deliver just about 26% of our iron. So we need to eat, what do we need to eat? 680 grams of beef to eat all the iron. That's why I recommend to go either with 60 grams of duck liver daily. It's delicious thing, guys. So I do recommend to eat it daily if you have it around. Eat sometimes chicken liver, maybe once a week, as we talked about. Eat a lot of chicken liver, like 170-80 grams will deliver 100%, but only per day. About 15 oysters is also 100% of your iron. And mussels, also an amazing source. Today I'm eating mussels and chicken liver, so I'm going to be eating a lot of iron. Actually, a lot, because I'm going to be eating a lot of mussels. So mussels with just 150 grams, 130 calories, a lot of protein, B vitamins, selenium, zinc, omega-3 fatty acids, all of that is about mussels. They will deliver 100% of your iron. So those are some foods that are high in iron. So if you want to get your iron from foods, I would probably recommend to eat some duck liver pate every day, and then maybe, eat some oysters, eat some mussels, eat some chicken liver, eat some beef. And you're gonna get all the iron from foods. Other than that, guys, if you aren't a fan of those foods, I highly recommend you to supplement instead of trying to get your iron from plants, because for many reasons you're not going to be able to absorb all that much. And also don't forget that protein will increase absorption of any iron, animal protein, not plant protein. Vitamin C in vitamin C rich fruit, like oranges or kiwis or strawberries, or lemons, limes, all of this fruit, citric acid will increase the absorption of iron, and lactic acid in fermented foods like sauerkraut, or kimchi, or other fermented foods like kefir yogurts, will also help to absorb iron. So I'm not necessarily suggesting to eating it together, although you might, eating together, those foods will always be better. But just during the day, when you do eat your iron, consume some of those foods. They are good for you anyhow, like sauerkraut, kimchi. They are amazing for gut health and needed to be eaten daily. But anyhow, let's get back to iron. Again, duck liver, oysters, mussels are actually much better than oysters for that. Beef is not such a great source. Again, as we talked, 680 grams, that's what you need to get 100% of your iron. So better to eat mussels, chicken livers, especially duck liver, eat your oysters. So those sources are better than beef. And let's get back to our habit building. To build any habit for life, first and foremost, make it meaningful to you. Not to somebody else, but to you. Make it meaningful on a personal level. Like for me, drinking water means feeling a lot of energy, having great skin, having great mood, having sharp and fast mind. And that's why I drink my water. What does water mean to you? Or exercise? Figure that out, and it's going to be much, much easier to build any habit. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Share this episode with one another person. Talk about this episode with that person or the whole household, family, roommates, boyfriends, girlfriends. So together work on building new habits, and also maybe go to a grocery store or order online, as a lot of people do these days, some iron rich foods. If I were to choose 3, I would choose mussels, duck liver, pate, and oysters, because oysters are so amazing also for zinc and omega-3s, and they are amazing. Maybe chicken liver too. Anyhow, guys, so shop online or offline for your iron-rich foods, or at the very least, please do supplement with good quality supplement if you aren't eating on a regular basis those foods. I am supplementing with iron because on the days when I'm not getting those foods, because because I want to feel energetic. I want to have great killer workouts, and I want to have sharpness of mind and great ideas. And for all of that, we need iron. So eat your iron, figure out why certain habits are meaningful to you to make them stick. And as usual, guys, till next time, eat better daily.